Everybody, the exciting news is that on Friday night, I went to the Hollywood Bowl and I saw Billy Strings live. And I am so impressed, with him and the band. And the reason I'm filming this video is I just wanted to take you through the whole experience. And so it's going to be partial reaction. It's going to be also sharing with you a lot of the short form content that I make for TikTok that was going along in the journey as it was happening. But now it's going to be put together as like a big story in this video. So that's what this is going to be about. So I'm going to show you how I somehow managed to get there because somehow, I think I first reacted to Billy Strings like 2 weeks ago, maybe three, like at max. I have to look up the date, but it's really recent. And so from in that time of listening to him the first time, looking up where his concert was going to be, realizing that he was playing in LA and then Wheatland, and I could choose between those two, but then I couldn't go to Wheatland, which is tonight. So I was like, oh, I'll go to see him in Hollywood Bowl. But then I had to have a lot of things had to align for that to happen. I had to fly there. It's a whole thing. So I wasn't sure it was going to happen until the Wednesday where I bought my plane ticket. And then even then, I didn't even have tickets to the show until Friday at 2 p.m. I bought the tickets as I was boarding the plane, actually. So at Friday at 2 p.m. for a concert that started at 5, I bought the tickets to see Billy Strings, Bob Dylan, and Willie Nelson, the legend. And I will take you through the whole experience and show you some pictures and photos. And yeah, this was me when I was getting up in the morning and I basically had to go to work and teach 2 fitness classes. And then from there, I drove to the airport and parked. So I basically had to have my bag completely packed in the morning before I left for work because then I was going straight to the airport.
Good morning. It's Friday, May 16th. If all goes well, I will be seeing Billy Strings at the Hollywood Bowl tonight.
Okay, so then this was me driving to the airport. So it's like pulling up. See my little ducks. I have a Jeep, so ducks and Jeeps go together. If you don't know about that, I'll talk about it later. Okay, so then this is what I filmed in the airport.
Billy Strings. Y'all, I'm at the airport on Friday, May 16th, and I'm flying to LA to see the Hollywood Bowl concert tonight, which is the Outlaw Music Festival, in which Billy Strings will be playing along with Bob Dylan and Willie Nelson. So given that I've recently started listening to Billy Strings on my YouTube channel with my reaction videos, and I was very impressed by his talent and his whole band's talent, I decided it would be a fun thing to just on impromptu fly down, go to the concert. I don't have tickets yet, but I've been watching Ticketmaster to wait for prices to drop. There are plenty of nuggets wherever.
Okay, so that was before I bought the ticket. Okay, then when I landed, the plane was a little bit delayed. I look at my mom is like, oh my God, there's traffic. I won't be able to pick you up at LAX. She was supposed to pick me up at LAX, but the traffic was so bad that she couldn't make it. We wouldn't have made it in time. So I was like, don't worry, I'll Uber straight to Hollywood. So I look up the Uber and it's like 1 hour and 9 minutes. And it was already 4 o'clock when I landed and Billy goes on at like 6:10. I was like, oh my God, I'm like barely going to make it, right? So then I filmed this.
So I landed in LAX, but the traffic is bad. Well, we were late. 1, the plane was late. 2, traffic to the Hollywood Bowl is bad. So I'm literally going to change my clothes in the LAX bathroom, jump in an Uber, and then it should take an hour to maybe an hour 9. I may be able to get to the Hollywood Bowl by literally 5:45. Billy goes on at 6:10. It's gonna be close, but you know what? I think it's gonna work. And I guess that's gonna be, I'm gonna wear my shiny dress, so here we go.
Okay, I changed. I luckily did my makeup when I was in San Jose. It's gonna take 1 hour out the house park. I'm not sure if the people said it was like the right price.
Blah, blah, blah. Okay, I talked about getting
And
the
so
ticket. Okay, so then this was on the drive, I took this picture. Okay, this is important. So then while I'm driving up, and basically we took La Brea all the way there until you get to Highland. And then my mom calls me and she's like, oh my God, there's the parking at the Hollywood Bowl is sold out. They won't let me park there. And I'm like, don't worry. Like I had actually mentioned to her not to try to park at Hollywood Bowl because I figured as much. I said, park at Hollywood and Highland. There's a huge theater there where like the man's Chinese theater is, right? There's a huge shopping center and a huge parking structure. I was like, park there. And at that moment, my Uber was like about to be at that spot. So I'm like, hey, Uber, I made a stop, and I thought the Uber could just pick up my mom if she parked the car. But then the Uber ended up having a ton of traffic on Orange heading to Fountain. He wasn't moving for like 5 minutes. I said, you know what? We're 1 mile from the venue now. I'm just going to get out of the car. I'm going to find my mom. Because my mom was like, at this point, go ahead without me. I don't want you to miss Billy Strings. I'm not going to make it. I'm like, Mom, you're going to make it. And I had this feeling that if I didn't stay with my mom, she wasn't going to be able to figure out how to like do the Ticketmaster transfer. And I just was like, this is a bad idea to separate. So I was like, no, we're going to make it. I'm just going to stick with her. So like I got out of the Uber. I said, thank you very much, sir. Went down to the 4th basement of this parking structure, found my mom. Somehow her phone didn't lose reception in P4, which was like amazing. And then I'm like, all right, Mom, we got to walk a mile now uphill because you're going uphill there to the Hollywood Bowl. And so we start walking, and then we get to a corner, and this pedicab is like, hey, do you want to, I can take you to the Hollywood Bowl. And I was like, Mom, I think we should. And then he was like trying to negotiate a little bit. And it was like $30. I was like, Mom, let's just do it because like we're not going to make it. And it's like a long walk. And that pedicab, this was the experience. One, he had a French Bulldog in his pedicab, which was really cute. And so this was me in the pedicab. This was the French Bulldog, which like to stick his head out. It almost seems like he's going to fall out because he literally like sticks his head out like a dog in a car window. And I was like, oh my God, he's going to fall out. And this is like it's an electric bike. So we're going fast. He's not actually pedaling uphill. So there's me in the pedicab. There's the other pedicab we were next to, like just getting to the Hollywood Bowl. Those were Lime scooters. I guess I was like, oh, I could have taken a Lime. Now this is walking up into the Hollywood Bowl. This is like the escalator up. Okay, now this was our seats. So like right when I get in, we're like center, terrace level. It was epic. That's why I bought these tickets because the price dropped. I saw the price. I saw the location. I was like, I'm getting this. So here's my leg. Okay. Here is a failed selfie. I think this is a video, but I compiled this into a better video. So this is one video, but hold on. I made it into a better video later. All right. This is Billy Strings, everybody. Like, that's a really long note. That was impressive. So I happened to pull out my phone. I tried not to record the whole thing, but there were moments when I was like, oh, I'm going to record this. I happened to catch that moment. Wow, that's an incredible breast support. Really good. Really, really good. I took this video. Yes. And then I made this compilation of my 2 little dancing videos. As you could see, no one was dancing except this bro. The people in the very front, like the people that paid like $1,000 plus to sit up there, they were standing up most of the time. But all the people here in these like garden level and terrace level at the Hollywood Bowl, they're just like chilling. And a lot of them had the picnic dinner baskets, and they even have these tables that they can install for you. They even asked us when we got there, they're like, would you like to install the table to eat dinner? And I'm like, no, thank you. It's literally like, so people are just like eating. So it was a 6 o'clock slot. So everyone was just kind of like, there was a few Billy fans I could see like among the people who were like singing and they knew it and stuff. But yeah, the vibe of down here was mostly just like people sitting for the most part. So I recorded a little bit. Oh yeah. So basically, because I love Turmoil and Tinfoil, when they started playing it, which was the finale, but I was also presumably that it was the finale, I was like, oh my God. I like pull out my phone. I was like, ah! god, it's Turmoil and Tinfoil, my favorite Billy String song.
Tinfoil. I can wait my early life. I can see where the darkness while I'm running through the night. I recall a silver morning
This is from a phone.
when your face had turned to gray. You were standing right before me, but I missed you every day.
He's such a good singer.
Though you now said you're sorry, I forgive you even then, but I feel inconsequential in the current state I
like the vocal effect there. Oh, you see this waiter bringing the person? The waiters in this section bring you food, which is awesome. So yeah. I pulled this out during the jam right after they started teasing Inspector Gadget. Because I was like, oh my god, they're teasing. It was either like Pink Panther and Inspector Gadget or one or the other. I was like, what? And I like pull out my phone and I missed that part. And I was like, please do it again. And then I missed it. But okay, so that was excellent. And then at the end, they came out and bowed. It was epic. Okay, so that was the Billy set. And again, we made it somehow during the first song. They opened with California Sober. And so as I'm like coming into the Hollywood Bowl, I could like hear it in the distance. I'm like, oh my God, they're starting to play. But I made it. The point is I literally walked in before they finished the first song. He hadn't even said hi to the audience yet because basically after the second song, he goes, oh, hi, welcome. And like, oh, by the way, our first song was called California Sober, da 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 da. And the second song was da da. I was like, wow. So like I literally got there in time against all odds. Okay, so then Bob Dylan came on. Now, at first, so with Billy Strings, they had big screens, right? And they have multiple layers of screens for the people in the back. And we had screens at our level, we had screens behind, da 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 da. So they were on for Billy Strings. When Bob Dylan starts playing, there's no screens, and it's dark. The stage is dark, it's dim lit, and my mom goes, I think he's doing this on purpose. I was like, I think so too. He like doesn't want the cameras on him. I look him up. I'm like, Bob Dylan age. It was like 83 years old. I'm like, 83? I was like, are you joking me? I was like, that's old. I thought he was in his like late 60s or early 70s. I did not think he was 83. So I was like, what? Like, I'm so glad we went. So this is what Bob Dylan sounded like.
In the park, as if it has she looked at him and felt a smile. Take time home. I said she felt alone and wished she'd on stage.
It was very vibey, you know. He did like a lot of blues music. So like doon, 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 typical 16 bar.
Right. I heard a big love. You'll be sure to hide. If you see me coming,
you see me coming? By the way, and when Bob Dylan even talks in between, he talks in that sing-songy voice. He's like, we have Sarah on guitar, and we have da-da-da on the bass, and we have Tommy on the drums. That's even how he talks when he's not singing. It kind of sounds the same. So I was like, that's cool. But I had to see him as a legend. He kind of mumbles his words, but again, he's singing in a style that it suits it. Like this blues style, it sounds totally fine.
And you're standing there.
Hey, you're standing there. Da-na-na-na. Blues.
I did yet.
Okay, then that was a great set. Then there's a break. When Willie Nelson came on, they had the stage all blocked. And then right when he started, this like thing fell down and like revealed them all sitting there. And there was a big American flag that lit up. And I loved that. I was like, yay, America. Yeah, you know? I was so happy about that.
And your mind cannot conceive. It all depends on what I say to you. And on your doubt in me. So I prepared these statements far from true. Take heed and disbelieve. Sun is filled with light, it's no warmth at all. Sky will never blue. Nor is a raindrop certain or place to fall. I never cared.
Anyway, he still plays the guitar great. He still sings great. He would usually not sing and play at the same time though, which I think is fair. He would have the boys next to him. Boys. One of them I think might be his sons because it said Willie Nelson and family, Willie and friends or something. Like it was definitely like that was the name of his band when he was actually on the screen when he actually came on. Okay, this harmonica player was like one of the best harmonica players I've ever heard in my life. Actually, my mom goes, that might be the best harmonica player I've ever heard. Very good, and his guitar is like a big hole in it, so I could see it when I zoomed in. And on the jumbotron, it had like huge, like a hole by the bottom part, like by the I don't know what it's called, not the neck, by the body. Okay, and then right when I got back to the hotel, I was tired in this video because it was like midnight. But I did a quick recap of 8 minutes. By the way, I might post this separately, but I don't think I'm gonna play it all in this video. But let's just get the overview. I just made it to my hotel room after the Hollywood Bowl show of the Outlaw Festival, where I saw Billy Strings, Bob Dylan, and Willie Nelson. Tinfoil, and they did a really... I just made it to my hotel. No, I want to go past that part. I just made it. Okay. Really good again. Like, it was really great. His songs were very touching, and what I like about him is that he's very dramatic, actually, and like he sings. I'm talking about Willie Nelson here. So I do think that he's very dramatic in the sense that I found him to be a very good performer. He really embodies each song. Like for whatever the song is about, he takes on that character and he sings it in a perspective of like you believe the narrator telling the story of whatever that is. Because one of the songs, and a lot of the songs were covers, but like one of the songs was about losing a good love of your life, like a woman, and that you think about her for the rest of your life, like basically. And I was like crying during that song because he just like embodied it so well. He sang a song about if I'm so high I'm halfway to heaven, but it was actually more touching. It wasn't just like a stoner song. It was like the concept was if you don't use it, you're going to lose it. Like if you're old, don't just stop doing what you're good at just because you're old. Like you have to keep doing what you can do every single day. because if you don't use it, you're going to lose it. And I was like, wow, that's so good, you know, because like I'm aging, we're all aging, and you always feel like, oh, once I'm over this age, I'm going to be washed up. No one's going to care what I say then. No one's going to want to listen to my music or my opinions, whatever. But he's still so talented, even though he's older. And he really embodies each song. He really takes it seriously. He's a good performer. You can tell he cares about the quality of the performance. All the guitars and the percussion and all that were great.
Because she was driving separately.
That's a story I already told you guys about how like we barely made it, I think. Miracle, reception, car, da-da-da, pedi-cab, rebellious strings. Okay,
We were like barely late. You know what I mean? Like it was like really easy. And then because we had this like lower terrace section, which gets like service and, you know, like you can...
Blankets. Yeah, my mom brought blankets, which I highly recommend. It got cold once it was like past sundown. It got cold real fast. So I luckily had like a thick puff jacket, and my mom brought these thick fleece blankets. I was basically saying that my mom really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed having good seats too, by the way, and having the comfort of those seats and being center and being closer and not having people crowded around me. I really liked it. And there were a lot of boomers around me, don't get me wrong, but that's why a lot of people weren't standing up. Also, besides for Billy Strings, the music, like Bob Dylan's music wasn't really dancing music. It was like, dun, 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 you know. Billy Strings, yes, I was like really into it. I love that bluegrass and that like the bass. I love it. And then Willie Nelson, most of the songs weren't really dancey songs. I mean, they're like kind of country-ish or covers or whatever, but it wasn't really dancing. I mean, he did On the Road Again. That was a big hit. You know, On the Road Again, da na 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 na, which I love. And now I kind of get the song a lot more, seeing him sing it live. It's like when you're used to just being a traveling musician and just got to do it. Just got to go city to city and not live that normal life. So I appreciated that a lot. Let's see. Da-da-da, indoor shows. Oh, yeah. In general, like, okay, these are my pros and cons to the Hollywood Bowl. Pro. It's beautiful. It's a stunning location. And once you're in your seat, you only see mountains. You're facing a mountain. You can't see out to the right. You can't see out to the left. You're almost in like a little valley of amphitheater. And because of that, you don't hear any sounds from Los Angeles. Like you do not hear a bus. You do not hear a car. I didn't even hear a helicopter the whole time because they like go around. They don't fly over. And in LA, usually you hear helicopters going by. You hear a street. There's no silence in LA. I remember visiting my grandparents when I was a kid, and they lived like not too far from a freeway. And I just remember that like sound of the freeway going by all hours of the night, and it almost becomes like this like white noise. In LA in general, there is never silence. It's a busy city. So to be in Hollywood Bowl, you feel transported into an oasis. So that was very stunning. And I could see how like the LA Phil does really well there, because I think seeing like a very like peaceful kind of like symphonic concert, and you're in the Hollywood Bowl and you're just like, wow, this is so epic, you know? Now, I think for shows where there's dancing or like high, you know, like rock, EDM, I like indoor EDM and indoor rock better than outdoor rock, because I like that kind of crowded GA situation where everyone's standing room only. I think that gives like a nice energy versus like being seated. And I do think what balances this out well was Bill Graham when I saw Fish there, because the upstairs was all seated and the downstairs was all general GA. So like you could choose whether you want to be like one of the people that sits or you want to be one of the people that stands and dances, right? So I love that. I think generally that is a better vibe for someone like Billy Strings. But I do think for the Bob Dylan, it's a lot slower music, and it's very it's gotta be in for the ride, okay? Like it's just like dun 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 dun. You're like, okay, it's fine to be sitting. And even Willie Nelson, it wasn't really dancey music. It was like more chill acoustic guitar vibe. So I think it works to be seated. So it just depends on the genre. But I think Billy Strings, you know, people were getting up and dancing a little bit, but it was also the 6 o'clock slot. But they did give him over an hour, which I appreciated. I think it was about an hour and a half, according to an article I read. I wasn't timing it or anything, but it was great. And what else? So then I did a tour of my hotel room and getting to the airport. If you guys care, you can skip this part.
Woke up in an LAX hotel. Come with me on my journey home. Basic room. There's a desk. There's a TV. There's a coffee maker. That's really important. And then I had my charger here, my purse. Just slept here. Look, see, this is how I sleep, by the way. Take note, men. And in the morning, I just go like this, and the bed's made. I feel like whenever I've had a boyfriend, which was most of my life, and husband and all that, the bed did not stay like this. Like when I'd wake up, the bed would be completely messed up. For me, it's like I literally sleep like this. It opens, I exit, I close, and it's like good as new. Take note. This is the bathroom. I'm gonna shower, and then
Yes, I wear a Yoshi t-shirt for pajamas.
I'm gonna take the shuttle to the airport. This is my view from the 9th floor of the LAX Hilton. I got to pick the room actually on the app, which was cool. So I chose something not super low. And I got to choose which side of the hotel. So look, I'm on airport side. So this is the lobby of the LAX Hilton. It's like pretty basic. Actually, big weddings happen here a lot because it's huge. Because Terminal 1 is the closest to where I am.
I ended up walking because there was a long line for the shuttle, and I was like, I don't need to wait for the shuttle. I only have a backpack. So I just walked that mile to the airport.
Right now, but if I was in Tom Brady International Terminal,
Todd
I
Bradley,
wouldn't want to walk
very
because it's quite a ways. The LAX level, so now I'm gonna.
So you walked into the arrivals, took the elevator upstairs. I had TSA pre-check with Clear.
The only thing that there was no lines or anything, and the only thing that took time was to scan the face. But I only have a backpack and.
And then I made it. You know, I had to make eyes with the gate. I think I showed that here.
Okay, so I have eyes on the gate, so we're good to go. Woke up in.
Okay, and then the last video I made about my experience was how much does it cost to see Billy Strings with Outlaw Music Festival? So I did a cost breakdown, and I just believe in transparency. Sometimes this information can trigger people. Like, I don't mean this to be triggering. I mean this to be informative, because some people have no idea how much stuff costs. You know, we've had a lot of inflation. Things are expensive. So I made this video about how much it was to go. And this is just for transparency, because people who can go to a lot of concerts, it's actually really expensive. So for people who can't go, you shouldn't feel bad. It's just a very expensive hobby. Hold on, I want to move this over. Ooh, you can see more of me now. I think I can make this bigger. Oh, so exciting. Here we go.
I saw Billy Strings play with the Outlaw Festival along with Bob Dylan and Willie Nelson, and this is how much it cost to fly down to LA and see it at the Hollywood Bowl. The tickets we had were really good. They were the Terrace level, which were like the private boxes. Basically it goes like pool, garden, terrace, and it was really excellent. So those were $269 each. I went with my mom, and I got it very last minute on Ticketmaster, and I think people couldn't go, so they were just trying.
Let's fast forward a little bit. I'm going to show all the prices here on the screen.
The concert part was $315 each, but then I had an additional drink for $20 that my mom did not have because we just shared that one White Claw. My total concert cost was $335. But then I have to factor in my transportation. So I had to fly to LAX because I decided so.
So originally my mom was going to pick me up at the airport, so I wasn't expecting to have that lift fee, by the way, and I couldn't fly to Burbank. I mean, I could have. In retrospect, if I had just flown to Burbank and paid more for that plane ticket, I probably would have saved on that Uber, but I didn't know yet that that was going to happen. So I usually fly to Burbank, so my moral of the story would be just fly to Burbank.
Last minute that the flights to Burbank were sold out or very expensive, and so I flew to LAX. My flight was $228 one way, and I parked at the airport for 24 hours, less than 24 hours, was $30. My Lyft was expensive because it was pretty far from LAX, so that was $77.70, but that would have taken me all the way to the Hollywood Bowl. But at the last minute, we had like a parking issue where my mom basically was parking. I
already told that story to you guys. You don't have to hear that again. That's the pedicab part. Okay, so
actually, like, she took me to the hotel afterwards, but I had points to get home on, so my flight home was 13,500 points, which approximately is worth about $200 if you convert the Southwest points. And then I got a hotel room with Hilton points, but the Hilton points were actually free for me because I got them from just attending one of those timeshare presentations. So it wasn't even from like a credit card spend or anything like that. It was just like free points from attending a timeshare. So I'm not really going to count that cost. Had I actually paid.
So yeah, I got the hotel on points and not one. Again, I think if you're getting 3% on credit cards and you use those points, you kind of have to factor in the cash value because it's the cost of using your credit card and you could be using those points for something else. I do some of the sign up bonus things too. Like I'll open credit cards. It's a whole credit card hacking system, but I have done that. And so I've accumulated a few 100,000 points. And so I can use them as needed for things like this. This is exactly the kind of thing I use my points for. Making this thing affordable. Not that 671 is affordable for a lot of people, but it's affordable for me in my profession. And not to mention, if you guys remember that I might have mentioned in a different video that because I'm a professional musician and voice teacher and piano teacher, I can actually go to concerts and expense them for my taxes because it's professional development, it's inspiration for my songwriting, it's completely related to my field. Even this reaction channel, which will eventually make money, I might even make money this year. I think I might break even this year, but like if I make any profit, this is a expense against that. So I can expense concerts. So that is something to consider. I just want you to think about. So I'm not like completely frivolous, like, oh, I'll just spend like $670 and just see a concert. But I'm telling you, to see a concert with my mother, who is a boomer, is so meaningful to me. I didn't get to spend Mother's Day with her, and like I'm really glad we did that. And not only that, I called her today and she's like, I was in such a good mood all weekend. I couldn't figure out why. And then I remembered it's because we went to the concert on Friday night. I was like, yeah, me too. Yesterday I was like hanging out with my friend and we do what we usually do on Saturday, which is like often we go into San Francisco and just like go to some bars where they're really social. We like to people watch, so we go to like the people watching bars. And I was just in such a good mood. She's like, you're in such a good mood. I'm like, yeah, it's because I flew to LA for one night and saw a concert and then flew back. Like, that just makes you feel really alive and exhilarated. And the weekend before, I flew to Vegas for one night. Okay, so like, I'm kind of like, you know what I should do? I need to buy those sails because Southwest, obviously, they've changed some policies. But I never check bags anyway, so I don't really care about the check bag thing. And this Wanna Getaway Plus is actually dope. It actually almost worked for me this time. So Wanna Getaway Plus worked on my way back from Vegas. Basically, I was able to just get standby on this Oakland flight and got home like an hour early, or hour and a half early because of my flight was delayed. And then on this one, I did get on the standby list for the Burbank flight, but the Burbank flight ended up being completely full. But because I was Wanna Getaway Plus, I was actually bumped up to the number 2 standby spot. There was like 9 people on the standby, and mine was the number 2, and it wasn't because I asked second or whatever. It's because I had Wanna Getaway Plus, and that puts you in priority. So now I'm like, oh, Wanna Getaway Plus might be worth it on Southwest. And then they got rid of the whole like credit being unlimited with the recent changes. However, I think credit's still going to be worth like last a year. And so I think whenever they have those $39 sales, I may just like buy round trip flights to LA on random days. And then I can always cancel it and I can just use the credit for something else. So maybe something like that. Sometimes it's better to have points because points don't expire, but you have to like figure that out. So again, I felt like exhilarated from doing this. Like I feel recharged. Not only that, I've been working on a song. So I don't know if you guys know, but I've written 7 songs. I forget. I have 7 songs on Spotify, and my other YouTube channel has all my music videos. It's not hard to find. You can find it if you go to my Fish channel. There's a Fish playlist I have on here that's like Fish reaction videos, and half of those reaction videos were done on my other old YouTube channel. So if you go through and find it, you can find them too. Okay, I'm going to give you guys a little job. I'm not going to make it easy for you. Okay, so I forgot what I was going to say. But yes, I felt exhilarated from going. I think it's like epic. I'm so glad I did it. I feel so good. I think if I just, again, if I buy those plane tickets in advance for 150 round trip, there's no reason not to just go to LA for a night. And by the way, I live near the Shoreline Amphitheater, which has a ton of concerts all summer, which is not as nice as the Hollywood Bowl, but similar. That's an outdoor, like, concert venue. So I could do that. But again, I prefer these like GA shows. So guess what my next GA show is? In the Tuesday after Memorial Day, I'm seeing Goose at the Masonic in San Francisco. And the Masonic is a super cool venue. It's like a more smaller theater kind of vibe, right? So it's like, I love that size theater. It's not too small. I just went to the Fillmore and saw They Might Be Giants, and it was great. The Fillmore is pretty small. So the Fillmore was like really intimate. Masonic's bigger than the Fillmore, but not as big as Bill Graham. So I think that that's going to be a really nice size venue for Goose. So I'm excited. And then I'm going to compare my experiences having just been to Bill Graham, having just been to the Fillmore to see They Might Be Giants, and now I'm seeing Goose at the Masonic. So I'm going to be able to compare these 3 San Francisco venues. So yes, my assessment is, to go back long run, is like, I think it's worth it you don't get that much time with the people you love. And I think if you can save on buying stuff and instead just like spend your money on experiences, like you're overall going to be happier. Because I don't know about you, but besides for my basic needs, I basically just use my computer and my phone, and everything else is just like some clothes I wear sometimes. But I'd rather just now spend my money on experiences, travel, concerts, vacations, stuff like that. Maybe massages or something if I'm stressed out. So that's what I mean. Experiences over things. So what else do I have here? I think I just explained what I told you. But yeah, you can watch all these. I might publish these separately if you're like, oh, I want to watch that. And then this was the cool picture I got at the very end, because look how their like hands are up at the same time. And another exciting thing that happened, and I need to get this photo on here because like you guys are missing out. But basically, I published let's see. Let's transfer this over here from my phone. I think they're going to show up right here. Perfect. Okay, so I published this on my Instagram because what happened is Billy Strings briefly published this post, and it had the set list from the Hollywood Bowl. See, California Sober, Pretty Daughter, Malfunction Junction, Old Sleefoot, Summertime, Hellbender, Heartbeat, America, Sally Johnson, In the Clear. And by the way, I had reviewed Richard Petty too, so I knew that one. And I knew of California Sober because it's like they're really promoting it right now. And then Turmoil of Tinfoil. So I repost this. I then put this picture and this picture of me. I tag Billy Strings. And guess what? Billy Strings' official account saw it. Hold on, this is not clicking off of there. Billy Strings' official account saw it, see? And they liked it. My Instagram story got liked by Billy Strings. I don't know if it's him himself or one of the other band members. Probably not, but their social media manager liked my post that tagged Billy Strings. Now, if they had retweeted it, it would have been better, like reshared. But that's okay. I'll take it. I was like, I got liked by Billy Strings. Yeah. See, I'm such a groupie now. But yeah. So if you are going to the Goose show at the Masonic, let me know. Because when I was at the Fish show, there were guys who DM'd me after being like, oh, I saw you, but I didn't say hi. And I'm like, okay, because I'm very recognizable because I wear hot pink and I look like me. And Fish was mostly males, mostly men. And not that many blondes, okay? I'm not going to lie. There's weren't that many blondes. So if you recognize me at a venue, please come say hi because I don't know what you look like. On YouTube, you guys don't even have profile pictures. Some of you have screen names. I don't know who you are. So if you see me somewhere, please come up and say hi. I really won't mind. I'm the type of person, I'll take a picture with you. You're like, you guys are like, we don't want a picture with you. I'm like, it's fine. My philosophy in life is fake it till you make it. So if you want to be a star, you have to act like a star. If you want to be a celebrity, you have to act like a celebrity until you're a celebrity. I've believed that all along. Like, if you want to be a singer, you have to act like a singer. I do believe that. I do think if you are all like down on yourself and you're like, oh, I hate performing, I hate being in front of people, like I hate talking to people, you're not gonna make it, because you have to have those kind of outgoing skills to make it as someone who's public facing, who's a performer, who interacts with their audience. Like I just think that's like a vital part of being like someone who has an audience, whether that's social media or in-person music. So anyway, that's my summary. So it was kind of a wild last minute decision to see Billy Strings, but I'm glad I did it because he's going to be in Europe in the fall. He is going to hit some like Northwest venue, like Montana, Idaho type places in August. Maybe I can go, maybe I can't. I don't think I'm gonna be able to go to Europe to see him in the fall. So I was like, this might be my only chance where he's like local enough where I can take a flight, have someone pick me up that I know, my mom, and she would have driven me. I mean, she drove me to the hotel after, which was helpful. And I could have stayed with my brother, but he like went out of town for the night, and I just didn't want to like, I don't know. I don't want to put someone out like that. It's not my style. When I was younger, yes, I used to like crash on couches, and once I went to New York City and just like slept on a floor, like I've had when I was roughing it in my 20s, But now I'm like, I don't want to suffer. I work hard every day. I have clients even on the weekends and stuff like that. So I'd rather just have a hotel room to sleep in and just like get to the airport. And I took the 9:45 and not the 6:45 a.m., even though it would have been cheaper to take the 6:45, because I'm like, I don't want to wake up at 4 a.m. Like I'm at a stage of life where I'm like, I don't want to be that uncomfortable anymore. It's like if you guys watch White Lotus season 3, and she's like, I don't know if I'm on stage, if I can have an uncomfortable life, It's a little bit like that, but for me, it's just kind of really roughing it at this point. At my age, I just think I don't do well. So I'm going to feel terrible the whole day. And if I feel terrible, I'm probably going to get sick, and then that means I can't work. And if I can't work, I can't make money. So it actually is an investment in myself to spend a little more to have like the better seats at the Hollywood Bowl and to fly on the flight that's convenient for me, because time is money, right? I don't know. You guys could be like, Erica, you're delusional. That's okay. I'll take it. If I agree with people, if they call me Delulu, I go, yeah, I am. But like I said, if you want to be a songwriter, you have to first write songs, but you have to also act like a songwriter. You can't just like talk about being a songwriter. You have to do it. And I've written songs, and I'm still writing more. What was my point? Oh, I was so inspired. I might make a bluegrass song. That was my main point that I was trying to get to like 15 minutes ago. But basically, like, I've been working on this one song for a year. I came up with the concept when I wrote my other songs, and I couldn't finish it. I have a really good chorus. I don't have a great verse. I'm not sure what to do. And now I was like, oh my God, what if I have bluegrass? And then like I have those sections filled in with the melody, but it's in guitars and banjos and stuff. I was like, yes, that might be it. That might be it. So now I'm going to go back to the drawing board with the song, and I really want to finish it because I love the concept. I love my chorus. I love the hook. And I just haven't been able to get the verses to come together. There was one version of it that sounded too much like soft rock, and I was like, this is terrible. And then there's one that sounds like weird indie pop. It's a little crazy. And then I'm like, maybe this needs to be bluegrass. Anyway, drop a comment. I hope you liked this long review of attending the Billy Strings Outlaw Music Festival set at the Hollywood Bowl. I think I'll do a similar piece for Goose at the Masonic. Not to mention, I've only heard one Goose set. I heard two. It was a Goose encore. I've listened to two Goose compositions, I would call them, songs, whatever. And I need to listen to more before I go see them, or I'm going in blind. All right, until next time on Erica Reacts.